Hey, thanks for checking out the video. I wanted to have a little bit of fun in this one and talk about a different side of EDC than flashlights than what I'm used to, and that's knives. And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm some kind of expert on knives or an enthusiast myself. I don't really know blade steels or any of that kind of fancy stuff. But I just wanted to show you my knives. They're actually all on this table before you. And one of them gets used 90% of the time, and the other ones hardly get used at all. This little fixed blade from CRKT, this spew, as cool as it is, I hardly use this thing at all. So yeah, it's not this one. This is also from CRKT. This is the CEO. This is a really sweet knife. It comes in different materials, color shapes, and sizes as well. So if you like this slim form factor, CEO is a cool way to go. But the knife I want to talk about is not the CEO either. Like I said, this is a knife that gets used 90% of the time when I do need a knife, which in my life is just to get into packaging more often than not. That's this little baby right here. Very intimidating knife. The manliest knife you ever did see. The Spyderco Bug. This thing is sweet. And yeah, like I said, I just keep this on my keys, and it's always there when you need to open a box or a package. Just have something cut a little bit of string, cord, whatever it is. As long as it's thin, this will get the job done. Not a heavy duty use knife. Obviously, should go without saying, is not a utility knife or anything like that. You can really only get 2 or 3 fingers on it. But for 90% of the tasks in my own life, this will get the job done for me. And if you like knives a lot and you carry some, maybe some more expensive, higher quality, fancier knives, let's say you don't want to get tape on the blade and gum it up and stuff, this is a cool little option to have on you, just to get through some tape and stuff like that if you need to. And before I had this, which by the way, I got this a little over a year ago, so I wanted to make a video, kind of a more long-term opinion video on this knife, coming from an absolute nobody. Like I said, I'm a guy who hit record on a phone to make this video. So don't take this too seriously, but I want to tell you my thoughts about this knife, whether I think it's a good buy or not. And it's actually more complex than you'd think, at least in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, this thing's cool because like I said, it'll get you into your boxes cut through tape and stuff like that, but then also some of the more annoying packaging that you can't just use a key to get through. Like I used to use a key to get through boxes before I carried this thing. Like this stuff, you know what I'm talking about. This really annoying type of packaging. Yeah, a key is not going to get you into something like this. So just having a tiny little blade, be able to slip in and access whatever product you want. It's nice to have on hand. So yeah, the Spyderco Bug, really interesting thing. Comes in this black color and also stainless steel. I think both are made from stainless steel. I'm gonna check my notes real quick to get the specky information. For you knife people out there, I'm not one of them yet. I do like pocket knives. I'll probably get more into them, but for now I gotta use these notes. So yeah, it's a 1.27 inch blade or 3.2 centimeters in length, so very tiny blade right there. Flat grind, 3CR13 stainless steel blade, and yeah, just a little slip joint knife. There's no lock other than the spring tension of the slip joint. So very simple. Because that there is not a lock, like I said, you want to be careful with this thing because it'll still bite you if you're just too flippant about it, because any pressure on the back, the spine will cause it to close. But yeah, it does have really good. You have to pull it out on purpose. It's not going to happen on accident. That's for sure. And then yeah, Spyderco, they're known for that circle in their blade stock. Makes it easier to get this thing open too. So that's cool. The knife comes in a really, I'll call it cute. It comes in a really tiny box, like really tiny. You can imagine it just has to fit this inside. You can almost lose the box if you're not careful. I wish I would have saved it back when I got this, but I tossed it. And the knife itself has a hole here that you can attach a key ring or put a string through it or a chain. But what I found works best for me is to use a smaller key ring if you have one of these handy. you may need to harvest it off of something you already have if you don't have one of these. But yeah, this works pretty well. Putting it on a larger keyring, like your main keyring size keyrings. Let me see if I can find one. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like something this size. It'll work, but I just find it's harder to use the knife. So if you put it on something small like this and then attach to your keys from there, it gives you a little bit more, makes it a little easier to use the blade itself than when it's on the keyring with a bunch of other stuff. So that's my 2 cents. So the knife does not come with this. And yeah, I guess I'll get into the price of this knife next, because that's the main thing that makes this a hard thing to recommend to people. This little knife, this tiny little knife, sells for over $20. You can get used ones on eBay for about 20, maybe a little under if you're lucky. Not in black, in the stainless kind of brushed, or I don't know what the finish is called, but yeah, all the way up to like 35 bucks. So for that price, you can get a lot of there's a lot of great knives on the market. And that's why this is kind of a tough sell. If you're looking to build a really sweet little key setup with a little bit of everything you need, just like on a micro scale, I'd say check out the Spyderco Bug. But otherwise, you might want to just save your money and put that towards a larger or alternate knife. Just being honest, I'm kind of torn on it because, like I said, I do use this and I think I have gotten my money out of it. It's just taken me a long time because the initial price was pretty high. But yeah, I wanted to show you my little key setup here in closing to see how this can fit into a little system. So yeah, just a Olight i3E right here, AAA keychain flashlight. I have a souped up battery in this just cause. But yeah, you've got a light here on your keys. You've got a knife on your keys. And your normal mailbox, house, car keys, whatever keys you use. And then this is kind of a secret that is not a secret, but I'll pretend like it is and pass it on to you. This is a little pill capsule for medicine, typically. These come in different materials, colors, shapes, and sizes as well. So if you want a larger one for whatever you may want to put in there yourself. Personal medications. What I do is I tuck a little bit of cash in here. It's my secret stash. Because I've never, obviously, never, ever forgotten my wallet in my life. Not once. But if I did, I would need something to get me out of a little situation, Can slip a 20 in there. That's my strategy. Enough to get yourself a meal or two, and or maybe a little bit of gas in a pinch. You would never drive without your ID or your wallet, of course. That just never happens in life. So yeah, that's my little hack. I just fold the bill into thirds and then roll it up really tightly. And then I'm probably not gonna be able to pull this off on camera for you because that's just my luck. But yeah, I just tuck it into oh, there we go. It's gonna work. Amazing. But yeah, that's my strategy, to have like a few useful things on your keys and still keep them pretty small. My vehicle is older, so I don't have a fob. But if you did, it still wouldn't be that large. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Spyderco Bug. Very interesting little knife. Before I use this, I always warn people that I'm about to pull out a very large, scary knife. I don't want anyone to be, afraid of this thing. So yeah, this thing's so small. I don't even know if TSA would take this. I mean, they probably would. They're keeping us safe. But yeah, and if you live in any sort of state or area that has very strict laws for knives, but does allow knives of a certain length, this one might work for you, because if you're not allowed to carry a larger blade stock or larger blade length, maybe the Bug will do. But yeah, check your local laws, of course, before. But yeah, that's gonna be my thoughts on the Bug. Interesting little thing. I think if it was cheaper by like 10 bucks, it would be the easiest recommend ever, because even if you're a big knife person, sometimes it's nice just to have a little thing to make those tiny cuts, especially on tape, and maybe keep your other blade running a bit smoother for longer, a little sharper for longer. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Spyderco Bug. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. Now that's a knife.